Good evening and welcome to Omnibroslive. I'm Omnidog from Omnidog's Vault, here with my fabulous co-host, the Omnibus Collector himself, Ryley Mo. How's it going, Ryley?
I'm doing what we do. I'm doing it well.
Right on, man. We're the best at what we do, right?
And what we do is very nice or whatever.
We're the Wolverines of YouTube.
We're the best there is at what we do.
Right. You know who else is the best there is at what they do?
I think I know the answer to this one.
It's InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add another 2% to that. Up to $50 in an order can get you free shipping in the United States. There will be an OmniBros code live code coming up soon. Fabulous customer service. She's the best. That's Emily. And great packaging. Can't beat it. That's InStockTrades.com.
And right now you can still get the first Marvel Years Conan Omnibus, the regular cover, for 55% off.
Right. 55% off a book. That's crazy.
Whose cover you're not even going to look at.
Right. And you don't want to.
It's going to be sticking in your shelf. You're going to see the same spine every day until you read the book 10 years down the line. It's not going to make much of a difference. And you get an extra, 5% off the normal discount that they would typically give. Plus maybe you have one of those extra 2% that stacked on like I had. And that actually kind of pushed me to get it. I was like, man, that's a really good price. I'll go ahead and
so you did get it.
I did get it. I got it. It fit. It just squeaked into my budget because next month is so light in comparison.
Oh, okay.
So it just squeaked into my budget. I figured I'll buy it. I'll try and get to reading it quickly so that I can make up my mind whether I want to continue buying the Conan books and take my chances, roll the dice that they'll release the entire 275 issue series, or if I decide, it's not for me, and I'll save the shelf space.
Right. Well, I'm going to get the first two Omnis because that's what I remember reading. I don't remember reading past that as a young dog. That was right in my wheelhouse in the 70s. So
as a puppy, if you will.
As a puppy, as a young Omni puppy, I remember reading those right off the rack. Mm-hmm. And I dug them. So I'm looking forward to it because I know the new Conan stuff is really great. The stuff from Dark Horse, but this early Barry Windsor Smith, Roy Thomas stuff is exactly what I remember loving.
Yeah.
As a pup.
So all Conan aside, we're talking movies. We started talking movies last week, and we can go over what we already talked about last week real quickly. But basically, beginning of the year, sometimes I like to kind of see what's happening in the world. I like to look forward to, what books do we know are coming out? What movies are coming out? What games are coming out? And it helps me to kind of think about, what are the different points on my calendar that I can be like, oh man, on July the 5th, on top of being the day after my birthday, is when the new Spider-Man movie comes out. So I have that, in my mind.
Is that true?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
So
Super. That's the only franchise my wife will go see with me.
And that trailer came out, so we can talk about that in a second if we didn't already talk about it on another show.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh. Well,
you talk about it and I'll nod my head.
Good. I like that.
So is my wife.
So we're gonna go over this calendar of releases, and I'm not looking at a calendar so much as I'm just going down popular ones, and we're gonna look at all the geeky movies. So on top of the comic book movies, anything that appeals to people who are into the kind of stuff that we're into, comics and sci-fi franchises, people who watch way too much TV, like myself. We'll talk about that stuff. So last week, after talking about our fabulously unpopular opinions and how watching 500 episodes of The Simpsons is actually torture for me. But it's a point of pride of torture for me. We briefly touched on some movies that are coming out this year. Just the comic book movies, the superhero movies to be exact. And, you know, we talked about Captain Marvel and the Avengers Endgame, the Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix, Spider-Man Far From Home, Shazam, Hellboy, X-Men Dark Phoenix. You know, these are the things that we talked about. But there's a lot more stuff, not just those superhero movies. And I think that if I can remember correctly, I said that I was most looking forward to Avengers Endgame, which is pretty obvious. But second to that one, I was most curious about how Shazam is going to be.
I was most interested in Captain Marvel.
Right. So the since last week's show, the Spider-Man trailer came out, Spider-Man Far From Home, starring the same group of kids doing the same thing that they have been doing. Peter Parker is heading on a school trip to Europe with his friends, and he touches base out there with this young gentleman named Quentin Beck, who wears a fishbowl on his head and goes by Mysterio. He's played by Jake Gyllenhaal, that we know from such films as Bubble Boy and Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. You know, I'm digging for the highlights in his career.
Man, you pulled a couple of beauties. Bubble Boy.
So yeah, he's starring as Quentin Beck. The trailer that Jess didn't see, he'll nod his head when I talk about this. You see, you know, Peter going through some of the stuff. He goes out there and you know, some things happen, and all of a sudden there's a big person that looks like a big body of sand, and then a big body of water, and a big body of molten lava, and everyone's like, well, it looks like we got Sandman and Hydro Man, and I guess that has to be the Molten Man, even though I don't recall Mark Raxton ever looking like that. And then Mysterio pops up, and you're like, hey, look, it's Bubble Boy. He's got the bubble on his head. And he starts fighting the monsters. He starts fighting the big.
So he's a good guy in this movie.
And the conjecture so far, and you know, you can't count this as spoilers because we don't freaking know because the movie's not out yet. But the conjecture, the popular opinion so far is that he is playing as a good guy for some reason, and he wants people to believe that he's a hero. For some goal that he has, and that these are not actually Hydro Man and Sandman and Lava Person. These are actually illusions, if you will.
Oh, the Mysterio's creating?
Ooh, yeah. So that's what I've seen several people say, is that they're probably Mysterio illusions.
One thing that's not an illusion is Bland Host 27 is in the house. Tyler Blunt. Hello, Tyler.
Tyler's a huge Spider-Man fan, so I'm sure he had some thoughts on that.
Yeah.
There was a little nod, though. They had a little Easter egg that showed up in the trailer, and it was the issue number. It said ASM, and I don't remember what issue. Like,
oh yeah, like 212 or something.
Something like that, which was like the appearance of Hydro Man. And so someone, you know, the internet pointed that out, and they're like, oh, you know, it's Hydro Man. You know, it could be, it could not be, it could both be and not be. It's a quantum Hydro Man in that case.
121.
121. Yeah, it showed that on there. So that, you know, that was a little thing. So anyway, that was the trailer. So did it have me more excited for Spider-Man than I already was? Probably not. Am I still going to see it like the day it comes out? I probably will. I will convince my wife that should be part of my birthday present, and we will go see it, and I'm sure I will enjoy it. Because as my my brother-in-law stated before I showed him a picture of Prince of Persia, Jake Gyllenhaal can do no wrong. And then he said, I retract my statement. And then I sent him another picture of Brokeback Mountain. I said, remember when Mysterio was dating the Joker? and he enjoyed that as well.
You're not following the chat, right?
No, I'm not.
Tyler Blunt just put in, do you want to earn anywhere from $500 to $2,000 a week from the comfort of your own home? Click here to find out how. Yeah, first of all, I'm way excited. Unpopular opinion continued. Homecoming was my favorite Spider-Man movie ever. And my wife loved it too. And as I said, Spider-Man's the only franchise that she wants to see. So I am wildly happy to take her to see that. Probably 1 or 2 weeks. Well, actually, we could see it the following Monday. There might be some punk ass kids. I'll go to I'll take her to Alamo, like the early showing, and we'll get a Spider-Man glass and pin and everything. Oh my God, this is gonna be a great day. I'm already excited for it all out.
It's like 7 months in advance, but plan that date, man. Alamo's perfect though, because and they should pay us for saying this, but Alamo's perfect because they'll kick people out as soon as, like, if there's a complaint, they're like, no, you gotta shut that shit off and get out of here. And like you have space for your movement. You know, you're not confined as closely to everyone else, so there's not as many seats in the auditorium, and because of that, you're not dealing with the possibility of as many people being noisy during the movie. Plus, you get all that cool pre-show shit. You get the glasses and the pins like you were talking about. You can buy, not that they give them to you, and you get to have, you know, a Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese, that's a good burger.
So it's a positive
comfortable
experience.
Seats, and people bring the food to you. It's really good food,
and it's reserved seating as well. So you don't have to worry about, like, oh, should I show up an hour ahead of time or more to make sure that I get a decent seat. So,
oh my gosh, I just came up with a great idea. Tickets are only like $8 at Alamo anyway. I'm going to buy. Sorry?
Maybe at yours.
Yeah, at mine, we went to see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse or whatever it was. It was great. I am going to buy 4 tickets and have the seats on if it's only $8 a ticket, I'll buy 4 and have the seats on either side of us empty. So, oh, no, somebody's coming there. Oh, no, sorry, somebody's coming there. And nobody will be there to bug us. Oh my God, this day got even greater.
So, Spider-Man, we're excited, obviously. Yeah. All right, so other geeky movies. I'm looking at this list, and it's organized again by popularity, because I'm not running through 5,700 freaking movies that I don't even know what they are. So at the top of the list right now, and I think that's because it's just coming out, is Glass, the M. Night Shyamalan follow-up to Unbreakable and Split,
which I need to see still.
How did you? So I'm guessing you watched Unbreakable. How do you feel about
that? I break with Omar on this. Unpopular opinion. I enjoyed Unbreakable.
I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion. I think it's just an Omar opinion.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. Of course, everybody did come up to me and said, it's a comic book movie. It's about comic books. And I'm like, okay, I'll go see it. And there were enough comic books in it then that I was excited, you know?
Yeah.
It was good. I enjoyed the whole thing. And I am looking forward to seeing, I'm going to see Glass no matter what. I want to see if I can watch Split over the weekend so I can go see Glass.
It was good. It's very different of a movie.
Yeah, apparently Professor X does a tremendous job of acting in this, so I really want to see it.
I thought so. I enjoyed it. My wife was kind of ambivalent about it, but I thought it was a pretty good movie. And I would like to see Glass. I don't think I'm going to be able to see it until it comes out on like streaming or Redbox or something like that. But nonetheless, that's a movie that I'm looking forward to checking out at some point to see how this story wraps.
Yeah, me too.
Let's see. Now there's an upcoming Tarantino movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, have you seen anything about this one?
Have not seen anything about it.
So I'm always on board because I, like many people my age and a few years older than me, fan of Tarantino. I've seen every one of his films except for I did not see Hateful Eight.
I did not see that either, but I've seen all the others.
I have it on my shelf. It's waiting. I just need to actually watch it. The description on here: Once upon a time in Hollywood, a faded TV actor and his stunt double embark on an odyssey to make a name for themselves in the film industry during the helter-skelter reign of terror in 1969 Los Angeles. And this features Margot Robbie, Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Dakota Fanning, Al Pacino.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a
You
ton
had
of
me at Margot Robbie.
names. I'm sure I did. She won't be dressing up with face paint and dyed hair, though.
That is cool.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you're aware.
I am aware that she doesn't walk around as Harley Quinn all the time.
Now what I might be missing something, but what I'm not seeing is Sam Jackson in the cast. I'm surprised that they didn't just add him on here and just be like Samuel L. Jackson playing the role of we don't know, but it's a Quentin Tarantino movie, so you know he's going to be there. But yeah, I'll do my best to get to the theater to see that because I'm sure it's going to be a fun movie. Here's an animated one, and I don't know if you follow this franchise. I saw the first film and didn't follow the rest, but there's a new How to Train Your Dragon coming out.
Did not follow it, will not see it.
Okay, just checking. I have a friend who's really into those movies because they're really well animated. Now here's before we started the camera or started going live, rather, I was with my wife watching Aladdin, and Jess was like, "Oh, aren't they making a live action of that one?" And that one is due out this year. The live action Aladdin, directed by Guy Ritchie, starring Will Smith as the genie and some other people. I don't know that I will be checking that one out.
I am not going to see that. Aladdin to me is a treasured part of my daughter's childhood that I am not seeing anything but the first animated movie, which I could see a billion times.
It's great. I rented it last night and we started watching it then, and it still stands up. The musical numbers, the voice acting, it's funny, it's smart, it's just good. I don't see what they could do to possibly improve on it, and I don't see how they could possibly recapture the magic, so to say, of the animated film in any way with a live action. So I
don't want to see live action Mulan either. Mulan's my favorite Disney movie, and
I just don't know how they can improve on anything. It just seems like a money grab.
Now, I will say my wife and I and my daughter did see live action Beauty and the Beast, and we loved it. But these next two, I'm not feeling it. And it's going to really take my daughter bugging me for a week straight.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Simpson kids did when they wanted to go to Splash Mountain. Or no, when they wanted to have a pool. Can we have a pool, Dad? Can we have a pool, Dad? Can we have a pool, Dad? Can we have a pool, Dad?
Anyway, moving on to the next one. So here's the second part of It Chapter 2, based on the Stephen King book that I have had in my library for...
Huh? What you nerds talking about?
Oh, good nerd. Here's Comics Guide 101. He knows a lot about movies.
What are you eating today?
Well, I just got finished with my third bowl, so I'm ready to do a show. My eyes glossy. Did I put the right option?
Your third bowl. I was going to say, of what?
And now I was like, cereal?
Cereal? Chop suey?
Cheerios?
Egg drop soup? No.
I have a bowl of chocolate chips.
So we're talking movies today?
Yeah, so we're going through. I'm just going through a list, and we're just saying, a little bit about these movies. Are they these big release movies? We've talked briefly about basically all the superhero movies. Glass, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I mentioned.
Just got back from Glass. Just saying.
You just got back from Glass?
Yeah. How was
that?
Don't spoil it.
If I liked both of the other movies, what do you think?
I loved Unbreakable.
I
dug the hell out of Split. I did not like Glass. Yeah.
How do you rate it in terms of your love for Predator?
It's not as good as Predator. No. Okay, real quick, I guess spoiler-free review real quick. First 40 minutes, great. Really, really good. It's what you come for. It's what you go to the movie to see. Then it just nosedives in the second act. And you get like about an hour of just... okay. You get an hour of basically M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong's thesis on what comic books are. Like, the lady character, I forgot her name, she pulls out a podium and in like an hour, she's basically explaining what comics are.
That sounds cool.
You would think. You would think. But as a comic reader, I know all this shit. So about an hour in, I'm like, I am starting to nod off really quick. And then the third act comes in. The second act was okay. And then the third act comes in, which I fucking hated the third act of this movie. I really did. I really, really did not care for the ending of this movie at all.
I'm still seeing it.
No, you should. You should absolutely go see it. And, you know, take my opinion with a grain of salt because I like Predator. But I've been waiting 20 years for Shyamalan to come back to this universe. And we got it last year and a half ago, 2 years. It was Split, even though it wasn't revealed till the end. And
I haven't seen Split yet.
I knew the negative reviews that were coming in, so I had tempered expectations, and I knew, okay, this probably isn't going to be as strong of a movie as I wanted it to be. And that first third, I'm like, oh wow, this is really good. They're setting up a lot of cool shit. You know, we're getting a lot of cool stuff happening, and then it just nosedives, man. And you don't get one. Okay, Shyamalan. He doesn't just give you one twist for your dollar. He gives you two twists at the ending for the dollar. And they are both shitty. Is
one of the twists that the movie isn't good?
Yeah, because he sneaks that shit in at the last minute. No, it didn't work for me. Like, it did not work for me. I'm gonna give this another pass. I'm gonna give this another try. See, with me knowing how everything plays out, see if I'll enjoy it a lot more. But I just say wait for Redbox for this one.
The twist in Split was
that
it was good.
Wait, you haven't seen Split yet? You don't know.
I have seen Split.
Oh, you have? Well, don't fuck it up for me.
I just said it. The twist is that it was good.
Don't mess with me, man.
That's without me spoiling it. Oh, and Bruce Willis was fucking just sleeping through this whole movie. He was phoning. He looked like he didn't want to even be there.
Sounds like I'll be sleeping too.
Yeah.
So
what other movies do we have to look forward to, Ryley?
I just started talking about It, Chapter 2.
Ooh, this is where the grown-ups come back?
Yeah. So
I had no idea when I watched It in October that there was going to be a second part.
Did you ever watch the old TV?
I did not.
Okay, so you didn't have any. I watched that, and then I bought the book, and I read the first 8 pages, and then I was like, wait, what am I doing? I have a million comics to read. And then I put it down, and then I watched the new one, and then so I've been looking forward to it to see how well they wrap up with the new cast and crew and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought it was A+.
Yeah, I really enjoyed
that movie.
Yeah. As somebody who I've never seen the 1990 special, but I've read the book. I've gotten 75% through the book. I'm still making my way through it. Because it's a fucking big book. I'm really excited for you guys to see what's coming up in the future. Like as far as the adult stuff, because the book splits chapters between adults and kids, and some of the adult stuff is really good.
That's how it is in the old the 90s TV thing, is that it splits it. So like the new movies did it very differently by completely splitting it into kids and then adults, because it intertwines the stories in that way that the book does. So I know the basic story, what happened in the previous live action Dealy Majig, but I've never read the book, so all I know is what happens in the first like 8 pages.
Well, what I like about the book and what I've read so far is that just because the kids got away with everything that happened with the monster and everything like that with Pennywise, doesn't mean they go on to live happily ever after lives. Like they are severely damaged and fucked up.
Right. Yeah. And you see it affecting at least one of the kids pretty immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. When he gets the phone call.
Yeah.
You see the fallout of what happens when he gets the phone call. Hey, you have to come back. Pennywise is back.
Nope.
Yeah.
So safe to say we're all three looking forward to that one. The next one on this list is Alita Battle Angel.
Boring.
Well, Jess is xenophobic, so he wasn't going to go see it.
I'm with Jess on this. I have no interest in this.
So I love Robert Rodriguez because Shark Boy and Lava Girl was the best movie that ever happened.
Oh my god!
That's not why. Sin City is one of my absolute favorite movies.
I love that movie.
And the Mexico trilogy is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
So I love his work. And my interest in this is going to hinge a lot on when I do read Alita, which I have it coming up pretty soon in my readathon. I've been reading a lot. For anyone that's not aware, I've cleared over 40 books so far this year. So in the past couple weeks. So Alita will be coming up pretty soon, and once I get through all of that, if I like it enough and I go and watch the trailer again, and that will affect my interest. But at this point I don't know. It would be a movie that I would have to see by myself, because I know my wife is not going to give a shit about it. The next one, though, I think that this one is going to be a big one for a lot of people, is Us, which is the new Jordan Peele movie.
I cannot fucking wait to see this movie.
I still haven't seen Get Out.
Oh my god. I can't wait to see this.
You should go watch Get Out. It is a very good movie.
It's a very good movie.
My wife's even seen it. I haven't even seen it.
What did she say about it?
She gave it the ultimate wife review. It was interesting.
Oh.
Like that. That is such a blah answer.
Well, check that one out. Watch the trailer for Us. It's looking like it's going to be a really solid follow-up. It looks scarier, honestly. Because Get Out was more like a commentary type thing that was, it was scary in what it was saying. But
psychological horror, maybe?
Yeah, I could see that as a good descriptor. This one is looks like it's legit going to be terrifying. So I'm looking forward to it. And the next one, I know Jess doesn't know anything about this, but John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum.
Shit! I saw that trailer today. Oh my god, man. Oh,
I still haven't watched the trailer. I usually stay away from most trailers, but I know that I'm going to watch this regardless.
Yeah, dude. I still need to see 1 and 2 of that series.
Yes!
I know. Sell me the digital code to that so I don't have to rent it.
I already sell all my digital codes to a guy.
Oh, I know. Is that Matt? What's the difference?
If I have one of them, Jess, I will send it to you. I usually send all my digital codes to my dad. But
I'm practically your dad.
Yeah, but I mean, yes, you're practically my dad. But if I already gave the code to my dad, then it doesn't really help what you practically or literally are.
Very true.
Yeah, I got a lot of movies and television shows that I need to watch. I read so much, though. I just can't tear myself away from my books.
So this, I know how that feels. This is interesting because I have no freaking clue about anything to do with this. But on this list, it says there's an untitled Terminator reboot. What?
Yeah, yeah. And that's my dog. They're bringing back Sarah Connor. Arnold's coming back again. I love this new trend of bringing back all these older actresses to portray to kind of bring back their roles. They did it with Halloween last year, and I just watched it again last night, and I fucking love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I dig this. I love this new trend. I'm still waiting for them to announce another Alien where they bring back Ripley. There were plans with it a few years ago with Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah.
And follow Alien 1, 2, and that would be the continuity, but that never went anywhere. And there's a lot of concept art online. It looked really badass. But I'm digging this trend. I really hope this is going to be a good Terminator movie. I know. I'm still holding out hope. T2, it's like in my top 10 movies of all time.
Yeah.
Everything after that doesn't count.
I feel like on the Alien note, there's still a chance that they could go back into that stuff. Like, it seems like they're kind of working their way into the timeline of the original films.
Yeah, they could they could easily, especially now, like I said, with this trend of bringing back older actresses to reprise their classic roles in horror and stuff.
Yeah,
easily come back to this. I could see studios going, "Wow, Halloween did really well. They brought back Jamie Lee Curtis. Why not? Let's try and give this a shot."
Right. So I'm glad that you popped in because I would have had nothing to say about that. Lion King CGI remake. What about that, guys?
Is that sort of like supposedly the live action sort of Lion King?
Yes.
Well, yeah, they're redoing it in CGI to look like realistic animals rather than, drawn animation.
That'll depend on how my daughter feels about that. That's a movie that we went to the movie theater 15 times to see.
Mm-hmm.
This was like, she was probably 3 years old, and we just saw it and saw it and saw it.
It's got a stellar cast, man. Everybody in there is A+.
I just, I don't know. It's similar to when we were talking about Aladdin. I just don't know why I need it.
Yeah.
The original one, it's classic, and they're not going to, tread any new water. They're going to get compared to the entire original cast anyway. So, people are going to be like, why did we need this person doing it to doing a lesser job than the original? And I mean, maybe they blow it out of the water and people are like, fuck the original movie, this is the best. I doubt it. I do not think that'll happen.
I mean, just money. Money. Our Ryley, your generation and mine are obsessed with our youth. We're obsessed with, being kids and kind of not necessarily outgrowing that stuff, but kind of retaining that stuff from our childhood. And movie studios know that, so they're prying on that stuff. That's why we're getting reboots for everything and recreations of everything of our childhood.
I think it also has something to do with our generation are starting to have kids.
Sure.
And our generation, on top of what you're saying about our generation will want to see these movies, they're going to take their kids to see these movies, and it's going to have an entirely new generation that are, seeing new versions of these films.
Mm-hmm.
So it creates an entirely, it's just a constant, everyone being interested in it. So Disney has their hands in everyone's pocket. So then those kids will grow up and then have their, interest already for this stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched any of these remakes, any of these live action Disney versions of older stuff. I didn't watch the Beauty and the Beast just mentioned earlier. I didn't watch Maleficent. I didn't watch the Alice in Wonderland movies. I really just haven't had any interest in that stuff.
Yeah.
I just wind up watching the original instead. So I don't know. It depends on how. If someone comes out and they're like, "This shit is the best thing ever," then I will probably go see it, because at that point I'm like, "All right, I got to see if it's really the best thing ever." This next one I'm super freaking excited about is Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Oh, hell yeah.
Tell me about that. Wait, first, Nick Gracia, no, we are not giving out the live ISD code today because we don't actually have it. We don't even know until they give it to us, and then we announce it. So they haven't given it to us, so we have nothing to announce. So go ahead, Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Usually every 3 months is what it is. So that's why you have a feeling when it should be coming. So that's
Godzilla?
No, I'm talking about the code.
Oh.
Usually every 3 months, Godzilla comes out of the water every 3 months, and he says "fuck everyone," and he blows everything up. It's a systematic thing. Every 3 months, every season, Godzilla comes out. Anyway,
I liked the last one, Shin Godzilla. I saw that and liked it.
So this is not going to be related to that. So just dash all of your hopes and expectations, Jeff. So this is a follow-up to the one from like 3-4 years ago, directed by Gareth Edwards, I believe is what it was, where it had Fat Godzilla and fighting the two Mutos, I don't remember what Muto stands for, but it was just a previously unknown villain for Godzilla to face off against. But this one is bringing us Rodan, Mothra, and King Ghidorah.
Yeah, I'll see that.
And that's what we know. That's what we know so far. There are rumors that there's even more.
Let me go off on a tangent here and plug a really good movie that not many people saw, and that is Colossal with Anne Hathaway.
I've heard of that.
Oh my God, it is so good. The central tenet of it is she goes home. I forget how she ends up getting broken, but she's something broken in her life, and she goes back home, and there's a park there in her hometown, and when she goes into the park, monsters appear in Korea, like giant Godzilla type monsters, and she creates destruction in this park just by walking. These monsters appear in Korea and start destroying things, and she figures it out that when she goes into the park, she hears newscasts about it, and it's got that guy from Saturday Night Live, Jason
Bateman.
No, not Jason Bateman.
Will Ferrell?
No. It's Jason.
Oh, Jason
Sudeikis. He does a really good job in this movie, and it is an excellent movie. I love that movie. I love the soundtrack. You guys need to see Colossal. You would dig it.
I did watch it. I thought it was okay. I won't rain on your parade, but I thought it was okay.
And by okay, you mean great. Thank you. Go on.
But yeah, Godzilla.
I'm excited that in the trailer we actually see Godzilla more than in the first movie.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Even if it's a shitty movie, I'm still looking forward to it, because I'm going to be like, yes, monsters fighting monsters.
Godzilla is actually in this one.
I grew up, like many of us, just watching random Godzilla movies.
Same.
Over and over and over, and playing with my Godzilla rubber toys that had no articulation, just beating the shit out of King Ghidorah and Gigan and stuff like that. So I'm highly looking forward to this one. This is high on the Anticipatron for 2019. The next one, we do not know jack shit about this, but there is the Star Wars Episode 9 is set to come out in 2019.
Can we just skip right past this? Because no matter what we say, we're going to piss somebody off.
Right? Yeah, we don't know anything about it. Fuck you. We know 5 things about it.
Fucking social justice warriors ruining everything.
Anyway, so that's a thing that's going to happen, and we will find out more later. This movie, I'm excited, and this is stupid, but I don't care. I'm excited. I'm a big fan of the Fast and Furious movies.
Oh yeah.
And we have the spin-off Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw, which is a spin-off starring Dwayne Johnson's character and Jason Statham's character, which were great additions to the franchise. I love those movies because they're so freaking stupid.
Oh, they're so much fun.
They're just stupidly fun. My wife and I literally binged like 5 of them in a weekend.
Oh my god, Jason Statham. Who was it? No, Vin Diesel beats Jason Statham in one movie by dropping a parking lot on him.
Yep.
And stomping his ground on the parking lot.
Dropping a parking lot on him.
You have to see it. He stomps his foot on the ground. He stomps his foot on the ground and drops a parking lot on him.
I just love like. We're like, okay, we've seen the originals so many times, and I really don't care about watching Tokyo Drift because I can watch Initial D whenever I want. And then so we start at 4, and I just love how like 4 is freaking ridiculous. And then since like 4 and then 5 and 6, 7, 8, it's like more and more monumentally ridiculous in every single movie. And it just like, you don't know what they can do next. And it just goes out there, and it's amazing. I freaking adore it. Like, this is, sometimes that's all I want out of a movie, is to come out being like, holy shit, did you see them like go skydiving with cars?
Yeah.
That's what I want sometimes. Life is simple, and it's a simple thing to enjoy in life.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird franchise because they started out like humble beginnings. You know, they were just basically car thieves in the barrio.
Yeah.
And by the last movie, they're fighting international terrorists in Alaska.
Yeah.
Isn't Charlize Theron in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's she doing slumming in that? She's a real actress.
No, she's not slumming. She sells it.
Huh.
Great.
I'll watch her in anything, actually.
And
you should watch her in that movie and watch all of the other movies.
Yeah.
Because it's so worth it.
Yes, but go in order. Go 1, 2. You could skip 3. Just read the synopsis. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Just go right through it.
Which is the one Charlize is in?
The last one that just came out.
That 8? Or Faster and Furious? Other.
The Fast and the Furious, the Fate of the Furious.
No, 8's the last one. Yeah, Fate of the Furious.
It's like, oh my god, you'll learn so much about family in those movies, dude. Like, what it is to really be family. And,
okay.
Vin Diesel raised me more than my own father.
You will appreciate so much, like, fast cars that jump out of planes and stuff. It's great. And Ludacris is there in most of the movies, and he's just ludicrous, and like, it's freaking great. Like, it's just, this is peak entertainment.
Okay.
Jess is like, fuck that, I'm not watching any of these freaking car movies, you stupid assholes. Anyway, Men in Black International. So basically Thor with no beard.
Looks good. I mean, it looks fun. I never saw 3. I never saw the last one that came out.
Dude, I really liked 3.
I heard it wasn't bad.
It was good, legit. Like, I actually teared up at the end.
Really?
Yeah,
Men in Black 3.
Yeah.
I think I saw that. I think I saw it and liked it.
It has Thanos in it, and it was sad. Like, it was emotionally stimulating in both like sad and happy cry at the same time.
Well, I'm pretty sure I did not see that. Maybe. I don't remember Thanos being in it.
He snapped and half of the aliens died.
Nice.
I know I mentioned this movie last time, but I figure we should talk about it again, especially since Luis is here with us. This is one of my most anticipated movies of all time, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, God. Have you seen the early stuff that's come out?
I've seen like the posters.
Oh my god, he looks like he has the body of Usain Bolt. It looks horrible.
So I was being highly sarcastic. This looks abysmal, and the thing is, like, it looks so bad, but I know that it's not. It looks like the bad kind of bad, not like Super Mario Brothers the movie kind of bad, where it's like I adore watching that movie. Like, John Leguizamo is the best worst Luigi that ever happened. Yeah, Super Mario Brothers is horrible in the best possible ways. This looks like it's going to be horrible in the worst possible ways. We haven't really seen anything of it, but it's just you can feel it in like your bones, in the marrow, that this is going to be an awful train wreck of a movie that we're still going to have to watch.
My BFF Matt Miranda has a question. OG, since it's the OGs on tonight, the original Gangstas. That's right. I know what it stands for. Has Jess watched Prometheus or Luis watched Old Boy?
No, not yet. I'm sorry.
No, not yet. I want to see Old Boy before I see Prometheus because I have the 3 soundtracks to. No, wait. I don't have the 3. No, I have something else. Vengeance Man. Something. I'm off on a tangent. I do have the soundtrack for Old Boy, and it was good enough that I want to see the movie, the original Korean movie.
Why do you have the
Thanos one? It's good music to read to.
Have you guys talked about Captain Marvel yet?
No, and we're not going to because you're on now.
No. I'm talking about the good Captain Marvel movie that's coming out.
Shazam, you mean?
That's the one.
We talked about the superhero movies last week, and that was like, I said that's the one I'm most curious about because it looks like it's going to be really solid. It looks like a mixture of Big and Kick-Ass.
I think it could go either way. I think this could be really, really good and really fun, or really bad. I'm looking forward to this. I want to see what they do.
Yeah, I think the preview or the teaser looked really fun.
Yeah, no, it totally does. Even my mom was like, "Hey, there was this trailer for a comic book movie, and I usually don't give 2 shits about them, but I actually want to see this one. It was Shazam." And I was like, "Yeah, Mom." She doesn't talk like that at all.
Does she talk like that? What
no, not at all. She, no. I made her sound like, I don't even know what I made her sound like. She doesn't. She doesn't have any sort of accent whatsoever. No, she was like, "Ryley, I know I usually don't care about superhero movies, but there was this trailer and it looked really good. It was the one with the guy in the red suit with the cape." And I was like, "Shazam, that's the one. I want to see that one." "All right, Mom, cool. Talk to you later." And that was the conversation. Merry Christmas, bye.
Props to your sweater tonight too, Ryley. That's a bitchin' sweater.
This is one of the OG. I've had this one since like high school.
That is a bitchin' sweater, man.
Thank you. I used to have the glasses that were like the same color as one of the squares on here.
Yeah, what happened to those?
Millie ate them.
Oh man, Millie.
Yeah. I can't even yell at her because she can't hear me. So cool.
Kill Millie.
So here's a movie that we did not need another installment for, but we're all going to see it anyway. Is Toy Story 4.
Gonna see it, yeah.
Why? Just why?
Yeah, I don't think we need it.
No, we didn't need another Toy Story movie. I'm gonna fucking see it though.
Yeah, totally.
Apparently it's been in like development hell. Like there's been a lot of people working on the script and just fell off. Rashida Jones was attached to it at one point.
All I can see on here is post-production, and let me look at. I know that like I've seen 2 trailers, 2 different things in the theater. It's due out in June, so not too far away. There's a fork now, and Key and Peele have stuffed animal characters that they play.
Oh, there's a fork in the movie.
There's a fork.
An animated fork.
Yeah, we're moving from toys to food stuff now.
A spork. A spork is what he looks like, but he's called Forky. A new toy called Forky.
Forky. Wow, that's almost as good as Poochie.
This raises some questions about the Toy Story universe, because obviously we know that toys are sentient in the toys are sentient in the Toy Story universe, but this is a spork that has had things like glued onto him, so now he is a toy. So when do toys become sentient? Like,
oh my god!
It kind of like was this spork already alive?
We are crossing the event horizon right now.
Yeah. For Luis, this is the exact kind of question in the condition he's in that you want to ask him, and he'll spend the next 3 hours contemplating it. When do toys become sentient?
Anyway, moving on. Dumbo by Tim Burton.
I actually want to see this, even though I railed about live action over animated movies. I saw the trailer for this before Into the Spider-Verse, and it looked really fun.
I'm mixed.
It reminds me of Big Fish.
Yeah.
I loved Big Fish.
Yeah, it does remind me of Big Fish.
I loved Big Fish.
Which
that movie
probably
made me cry.
Entirely just because of Burton's stylistic choices and stuff. But I don't know. I'll probably catch it on a streaming service or something.
Nah, I'll go see that with my daughter. In the theater.
Here's one that I am excited about is the Lego Movie 2.
Yeah.
The second part. So Jess, were you a fan of the Lego Movie? Did you watch the Lego Movie?
I believe I saw the first Lego Movie and liked it, but I did not see the Batman Lego Movie, but I really liked how funny it was, so I'll go see another Lego Movie.
The Batman one was really good.
That's what I heard.
You should check that one out. I think I love the Batman one because it's such a nice tongue-in-cheek, like so many tongue-in-cheek jokes for fans of the comics, especially for you who have been a fan of the character since the 30s. It's filled with little commentary that you would understand,
awesome.
Being old as dirt.
Oh.
So yeah, the second one, I didn't realize that this is not directed by the same people. It's Mike Mitchell and Trisha Gum that I'm not familiar with, but I enjoyed the previous Lego movies enough that I'm still down to see this one.
Yeah.
And it's got the same voice actors coming back.
This is something that's going to a question that's directed to you, Ryley, because this is a movie that you'd see. Freddie asks, did I miss Detective Pikachu?
Oh, no, we haven't gotten there.
No,
I haven't got there yet.
I thought you were going to say Space Jam 2.
That's probably my third most anticipated of this year. I really want to see that.
Detective Pikachu?
It's got to be on here soon. Rambo 5, Last Blood.
Looks like Rhinestone 2. He's wearing a cowboy hat. And it's just another movie. Why? The last one ended just so good, so well.
He can't need money that bad. I mean, he should have a boodle of dosh at this point.
He doesn't need to come back to this. He looks like he's just another sequel to Rhinestone, which I think like 3 people in the chat.
Rhinestone. What a good call. Was that the one with Dolly Parton?
Yes. I want to say yes.
I feel like Dolly Parton was in the first Rhinestone.
I want to say yes. It's been so long since I've seen Rhinestone, and it's not a good movie at all. It's why, again, the last one just ended perfectly. He finally made it back home to his father's ranch, and it seemed like he had found peace in his life after killing, God, how many Koreans in that movie? Like a truckload?
I never saw any of them.
You should. The first 2 are good, but they're a bit dated. I actually just saw Rambo 1 again the other night. You should, but they're fun movies.
This next one, this is only tangentially geeky. Happy Death Day to You. Did y'all see the first Happy Death Day movie?
I liked the first one.
It was written by Scott Lobdell, so that's why I said it's tangentially geek related.
I thought it was Rob Liefeld.
No, it was written by Scott. It was Jess. Did you see that one?
No.
It's basically, think about a movie that's Groundhog Day and Scream.
It's fun. It's a fun little movie.
So they keep reappearing in bad situations?
She gets killed and comes back to life like every morning. She really relives this day over and over again, a la
that sounds interesting.
Day.
She's got to figure out how to keep herself alive after continuing to die.
She's basically trying to figure out like who it is and what's going on. So it was really fun. I rented it after the DVD came out, and it was a really entertaining movie.
That sounds really good to me.
This second one is coming out this year, and I don't know why there has to be another one, but it's not written by Scott Lobdell, which could be good or bad. I don't know. that could go either way. But yeah, the first one's good. I recommend it. Here's one that we don't even know if it's really going to happen, but the New Mutants.
They're saying August 2nd. I just looked it up because I was curious about it.
That is my second most anticipated movie after Captain Marvel. I really want to see this.
I'm so curious as to what happened with that film. Like, if the studio got its hands on it and chopped it to hell and back. Like, is it a good movie? Is it a horror movie? I know they spent a lot of money on reshoots on it. I'm just genuinely really fucking curious about this.
Because they're trying to add some, like, they were adding an entirely new character into the film. It just sounds bizarre of a process to go through. But, like, the trailer was really interesting, number one. Number two, the casting, most of them seem really spot on.
Mm-hmm.
And number three, it's like one of my favorite comics, one of my favorite X-Men series of all time was Claremont's New Mutants, and I really freaking wanted to watch this movie, and hopefully it actually gets made. Like you said, it does say 2nd of August, so hopefully that's a thing that actually happens, but we haven't seen another like trailer or anything, because Dark Phoenix, they released in more stuff. They released like a new trailer, which apparently that one's supposed to be doo-doo, but I don't care, whatever. There's,
I'm seeing it anyway.
I'll see it anyway, number one, because I'm an X-Men fan, but number two, I really don't care if the movies are doo-doo or not. I just want more books printed is all I want. And here we are, Detective Pikachu. So yeah, Detective Pikachu. Luis, you said this is one that you were the most curious about. One of the, right?
If it's my third. My first would be Brightburn.
Oh yeah.
I really am fucking dying to see Brightburn. My second would be Us. Yeah. And Detective Pikachu would be my third.
Do you think that this movie is going to break like the trend of crappy live action video game based movies?
Here's my hope for this. And I'm not going to go on a long tangent. I know everybody's probably thinking, "Oh, great." Nintendo is very protective of their properties.
Right.
Very fucking protective of their properties, especially after the Super Mario movie. They just don't lease that stuff out. Knowing them and how protective they are, and all the little nods and details and all the little stuff that you could find in the backgrounds, and just it seemed like they put a lot of work into this, into making this world feel alive, based on the trailer that we came out, where you see all the different Pokemon interacting in the world and how they get around and how they interact with humans and they're used in society. At the very least, I think we're going to get a really interesting world.
So it's live action featuring Pokemon characters interacting in the world.
There's CG Pokemon. You haven't seen the trailer, Jess?
No.
It's this kid who his dad dies and he's like trying to figure out what happened.
He's trying to figure out like a murder or something like that.
Yeah, and like his dad was like a cop or something, I think is what it was. And he goes and at his dad's old office or at his home, he sees there's a Pikachu running around. And the Pikachu pops up and starts talking to him, and it's Ryan Reynolds is voicing Pikachu, and he's like, "What the hell? I can understand you." And then Pikachu's, "What the hell? You can understand me?" And so he's the only one that can understand Pikachu, and this Pikachu is a detective, and they start working this case together because he's, if we want to figure out what happens to your dad, then we're gonna have to blah 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 blah. And it has a bunch of like, as realistic as you can get looking CG Pokemon in this real live world.
Charizard looks amazing.
Like, we're gonna have to bring in Officer Slowbro.
I'm pretty pumped because of how just
I want to see how they translate them.
I don't freaking know how this is gonna go. Like it's, I feel personally, I'm like, dude, it looks good. I hate to like, I feel like I'm a dumbass for saying it, but honestly, it just looks good. Like
it does.
I think that the trailer looked really interesting. It looked intriguing enough. I watched the trailer a few times and I was like, I'm gonna see this movie. Like this is gonna be interesting. I think that it could be the first really well received video game based movie. And when I say really well received, I don't mean like, you know, half of people are like, it was really good, and the other people are like, it was really shitty. It's going to be the majority of people are like, yeah, this was actually a pretty good movie. I feel like this is going to have the same reaction from people as maybe like Bumblebee has had, where it's like generally majority of people give it favorable reviews, but it's still like a 7 out of 10 is what the review winds up being. I'm really interested. I'm very interested in seeing how this turns out. And I think all the points that you raised about Nintendo and how protective they are very solid points. I don't think that they would have trusted these people to make this movie unless they were confident that it was actually going to turn out well.
I'm sure Nintendo and Game Freak, they had a hand in every stage of the development of that film. Like they were overseeing the entire project. I just like how they look, man. I like the general design. Like some people were mad, oh, you know, Jigglypuff doesn't look right. And I'm like, what the hell did you think those curls were on her head? Like, did you think it was just organs or something?
Why? Because she's fuzzy?
Yeah, people were really pissed off because she's not like a balloon, that she's actually fuzzy. Just nitpicking. I like this.
I love that there's an outlet for people to get pissed about live action Pikachu. That's just, please.
Pikachu shouldn't look like that. Pikachu should. What do you want Pikachu to look like? I don't. Yeah, there was people who are like, it's saying it comes into this like uncanny valley sort of thing, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But I don't. I think it looks great. I think Mr. Mime looks disturbingly great.
That bit was great. The bit with Mr. Mime was really good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Greninja looks awesome. I like Greninja.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this, and I think that they're gonna make a franchise after this. Honestly,
they're gonna make so much fucking money off of this if it's a hit.
I'm gonna give them so much fucking money off of this. I'm gonna be like, yes, I need all the action figures. I need the Blu-ray and I need the soundtrack.
Hey, but we're also getting a Super Mario Brothers movie by the guys that did Despicable Me.
Oh yeah, I think I did see something about that.
Yeah.
But the next movie on our list here is Child's Play.
Yes, I love it.
What's that?
Chucky.
No, I'm not seeing that.
So this is like a reboot, right? Like they're putting out a new. It looks like. Is there an actual trailer? I didn't even watch the trailer.
There's two different Child's Play timelines right now. There's the one that's on Netflix, which is a continuation of the classic movie from the 1980s, 70s, and they just had a movie that came out last year, which actually wasn't too bad.
Dude, those new ones are great.
Huh?
I'm not even gonna dance around it. I love the two new ones.
They were good. They were really good.
Curse of Chucky and the other thing of Chucky, the Chucky. I really like those.
Yeah, this is a reboot. So we're gonna have two different timelines going on right now. One that's in the movie theaters and one that's on Netflix.
Okay, I cannot. We've got to move on. I cannot go upstairs and tell my wife we were working on the timeline of Chucky movies. That she'll just laugh at me.
All I know is that I'm going to be wearing my Chucky onesie to watch that movie.
You really want to get into convoluted timelines? Let's talk about the Halloween franchise.
Yeah, what, like 4 timelines?
That's more legit than the Chucky franchise.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's like 4 timelines with that. That's okay. I'm not even going to get into that right now.
That's a rabbit hole I can go down for like an hour.
Yeah, that's a swamp.
All right, so Brightburn, Luis, you mentioned that already, that as being one of your top. Now that's the one that's basically like, what if Superman as a kid came down and he was a really mean little boy?
He was a little asshole. Yeah.
Do you remember that? That's the one that we all thought was going to be Berserk.
Yeah. Yeah, that was supposed to premiere at Comic-Con last year, but then the whole James Gunn thing happened and they bailed out at the last minute.
Yeah, and it looks, according to IMDb, it doesn't even look like he's attached to it anymore.
He's a producer. They probably stripped his name from it, but he's a producer on it.
Well, I'm not seeing the producer notes on there. All I'm seeing is director, writers. Writers are Brian and Mark Gunn, but But yeah, I remember whenever the image came out, and I think you were one of the people who was like, "Yeah, it looks like the thing from Berserk."
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Like I said, I'm starting to kind of hit that wall of superhero fatigue, and this looks different enough where I'm like, ooh, this piqued my interest, piqued my interest.
Yeah,
thank you. It looks really cool. I mean, I like the premise of what would happen if Superman came down and instead of being goody two shoes, he was actually a little evil shit. So we'll see what happens. You know, it's a small budget.
Omar must be done with his Girl Scouts because he's popping off. I mean, seriously, do you people even talk comics anymore?
No.
Omar, where are my cookies?
Yeah, Omar owes all of his cookies because of something that he did that I forgot.
I firmly believe this movie is done and that they were going to drop it in October of last year, but the whole James Gunn thing happened and they pushed it all back.
But now James Gunn is doing Suicide Squad.
What's he doing?
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
Who's the one that had 3 bowls?
Suicide Squad.
There you go.
All right, so we're at the point on this whole list where it's like less and less movies that I actually really give a shit about. So there's a new version of Pet Sematary.
Don't care.
A second Frozen movie. What are they gonna do?
A second what?
Frozen.
She's even more frozen.
I guess because Anna and Elsa are friends again. You know, the sisters are getting along together. They can go have adventures with Olaf. So that I don't know. I don't know why that has to be a franchise. They were gonna milk it until the end of time anyway.
Did you guys talk about Far From Home?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Just
Untitled Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle sequel.
I like the first one.
Dude, that was fun. I had a lot of fun with that movie.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that movie. I'm not even gonna lie. My wife and I went, and it was just, you know, I would say it's the same vein as like my enjoyment of the Fast and Furious movies. It's just stupid fun. Except I didn't learn as much about family in that movie. I never read these books growing up, but there's a Artemis Fowl movie coming out, directed by Kenneth Branagh.
Well, my girl's super excited for that.
Cool. Zombieland 2.
Oh, I like the first Zombieland.
Yay.
That had Bill Murray and Emma Stone in it.
Different directors? Is it same writers? Rhett Reese, yeah. Rhett Reese is writing again, so it might be where I don't know where they go from there.
Joker.
We talked about all the comic book ones.
I'm so looking forward to Joker.
Shaft.
Oh, sorry.
Shaft movie coming out again with Samuel L. Jackson. Is he?
Oh yeah, no. We're getting 3 generations of Shaft in this. We're getting the original actor in the 1970s, Samuel Jackson, and Samuel Jackson's like son in the movie. So there's 3 Shafts in this movie.
3 times the Shaft, man. I didn't even know I needed 1 Shaft, let alone 3.
Addams Family movie's coming.
Is that live action or animated?
Animated, by the guys that did Sausage Party.
Huh.
Yeah. Oscar Isaac is playing Gomez. Perfect casting. Charlize Theron is Morticia. There's artwork out there. It looks really cool.
There's a 4th Ip Man movie coming out.
Oh, good. I love Ip Man.
Yeah, Donnie Yen is the shit, man.
Totally.
You know, I've never seen any of those movies.
You should check
love it, man.
No,
You
I've
should
never
check
seen them.
those movies out. It Man is great. That's like peak like kung fu movie stuff right there.
Mhm.
Oh, there's another Medea movie coming out. Medea Family Funeral.
Oh, but see, this is his last Medea movie. So this is his Logan. He's never putting on the skirt again.
I
He's
don't
hanging
think
up the skirt.
I don't know how anyone could put it better than that. There's a third Kingsman movie coming out.
Oh, I still need to see the first one. I loved the book.
I love the first movie. The second movie was enjoyable. I have no idea what they'll do for the third one. But I'll probably catch it once it hits home media. I think that's pretty much all the big ones.
I think, yeah.
Dora the Explorer, what the fuck is this?
Masters of the Universe. Yeah, we covered all the big ones, I think.
There's a Playmobil movie. Did they get upset because Lego Movie was so good? They're like, let's do one. And it's got Harry Potter in it.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Oh, dude, they just greenlit a Monopoly movie.
What the shit? Who's playing the Monopoly Man? Who's playing the thimble?
I don't know, but I know Kevin Hart's in it.
Kevin Hart's probably playing the thimble. He's small enough. There's a Monster Hunter movie coming out. Minecraft, the first movie.
Oh,
man.
There's a Monster Hunter movie by the guy that did Resident Evil, and his wife, Mila Jovovich, is starring in it.
Of course.
Sign of quality.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yeah, just like Hellboy. Oh, fuck that movie.
We are scraping the bottom of the barrel now.
Yeah, I told you that we're pretty much. There's a spin-off of the Kingsman movies coming out. I don't. What?
A Downtown Abbey movie. Wow.
Yeah, this is the real, and we're only at 200 out of 5,700 movies right now. So
we've nailed all the big ones. I'm pretty sure. I mean, there's gonna be stuff that pops up. There's gonna be really badass. Especially
You're doing a new Little Monsters movie.
What's the movie that's coming out in the next 2 weeks with Mads Mikkelsen? It's based on a comic book. Polar, I think.
Polar.
That shit looks like a Metal Gear movie. Holy crap. He looks just like Big Boss.
That's also something that's supposed to be happening. I don't know when, I don't know where, I don't know how, but it's the thing that everyone keeps talking about.
Yeah, the Jordan Ron Roberts, the director that did King Kong. He's doing it.
You know what everybody else is talking about besides movies?
How great In Stock Trades is?
That's right, Ryley. You got it. InStockTrades.com, where you can get collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add an extra 2% to that. If you hurry, you can get the new Conan Omnibus for 55% off through InStock. That's right, doggy approved. Over $50 in the United States gets you free shipping. OmniBros code is coming up soon. We don't know when, but we'll tell you. You guys will be the first to know. Loyalty discounts, I covered that. And fabulous packaging and the best customer service around. That's InStockTrades.com. Our sponsor.
In conclusion, there's a lot of really exciting movies coming out for us geeky types this year, and there are a lot of movies that are going to have me scratching my head, and I'm going to have a great time talking about what the fuck they are whenever they get closer to coming out. And we have Detective Pikachu, and that just stands on its own.
I have to say that you've made me do a 180. I'm actually very interested in Detective Pikachu now. I never thought I'd live to say those words.
We'll send you the trailer.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to check out the trailer, and you're going to be like, yeah, I'm going to have to see this.
Okay. I'll drag my daughter to see it.
Or you'll just look at it and go, what weebo shit is this?
Is your daughter not into Pokemon?
She was. Oh, she and I played Pokemon Snap on the N64 for like 6 months. You'll like it. She's not still into Pokemon. I think Pokemon peaked in her. I think maybe when she was in 3rd grade, that was a big deal. I don't know that it went past 4th or 5th grade. I don't think, but if she sees the trailer and is interested, I'll take her to see it.
Well, she's obviously not a real fan.
No.
With us, who've been buying every Pokemon games.
Oh, no.
1990.
I love how this has become a franchise for adults now.
Yeah. It's oh, you enjoyed playing Pokemon in the back of the car using the each passing street light to see what move you were going to use against your friend because you were battling through link cable. Well, now you get to look for Pokemon in the streets using Pokemon Go as your friend drives you around so you can find all the Pokemon stops.
They still have a really lively community.
I was just on the topic of Pokemon. This would be interesting to ask you, Luis, if you recall. I was just talking about my original 6 Pokemon team from Pokemon Blue. Who did you have? Do you remember?
Dude, it's been so fucking long. I don't. I remember that I started with my first starter was actually Squirtle. I couldn't tell you. I mean, the thing is that I played through blue, red, gold, and silver so many times. Like once I finished it and I collected all 150, I would just start over again.
I started, my first game was blue, and I started with Charizard with Charmander. Because I really had no idea about anything.
Oh
but
man, you started that hard way.
From that point on, I decided always to do fire. So I've always chosen fire, unless like it was one of the like I had platinum, the third game. So I would choose a different starter at that point. But I would always start with fire. So I had my ending team was Charizard, Pidgeot, Gengar, Dragonite. I'm pretty sure Gyarados and Hitmonlee. That was my team. And then later on, I wound up having all 3 starters and Mewtwo, and I got the legendary birds at different points and all that stuff because, later on you wind up going out and getting everything. Yeah, that was my team, man. And I knew nothing about what the hell. I just knew that it was like people were buying it, and there was a cartoon, and there was comics in my Nintendo Power magazine, and Nintendo Power told me that I should buy it, and I was like, well, obviously you told me I should buy it. So I bought it, and I bought it like pretty soon after it first came to the US, and just had no freaking clue what the hell I was doing.
Yeah.
I got stuck in Mount Moon without Flash and had to restart my game. So yeah, I restarted my game, and it took me forever to actually learn how to catch Pokemon because I guess I just didn't pay attention to the old dude outside of Pallet Town. So I had no idea that you could catch the Pokemon. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. So I had to restart my game, and at that point I finally learned what I was doing. And yeah, from then it was history after that. But I just remember my struggles with my first file. I was a dumbass.
Yeah, it's amazing coming from back in the 90s what we had to like now with Sun and Moon, and what's apparently going to come out with a Switch this year, which I'm really excited to see what happens based on what they did last year.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten or played the Pikachu and Eevee Let's Go games.
It's fun. I mean, it's a good way to kind of just chill, lay back, and just kill a few hours if you've got time, or like listen to a podcast. And if you're just kind of just like, I just want kind of a chill afternoon, it's a good way to do it.
Well, I think that we covered our bases, and that seems like a good Thursday show. I think we're ready for what movies are coming out this year, and
nice.
I don't know when they're coming out because I didn't really look at many dates, but I know what's coming out. I know Spider-Man comes out the day after my birthday, so.
Right.
So yeah, that's that. Jess, as the host, I guess you should wrap us up.
Well, thank you for tuning in to Omnibros Live chat. Thank you very much. You were very interesting tonight, and please hit the like button. That's the thumbs up button. Smash that thumbs up button because somehow in the YouTube algorithm that helps us. take a look at the Omnibroslive t-shirts that are for sale. That is in the description down below, where we're appearing right now, if you're interested in an Omnibroslive t-shirt. And Ryley, where can they find you on the cable nets?
The cable nets?
Yeah, whatever it is. What's it called? Internet.
The series of tubes. You can find me on this channel. You can find me on my channel. I haven't uploaded in a little bit, but RyleyMo, RYLEYMO is the channel, or you can just search the Omnibus Collector. On Facebook, our group is the Omnibus Collectors Comic Swap and Community. And then on Instagram, where I usually post images of my dogs because I love them more than anything, you can find me there at RYLEYM0, RyleyMo with a 0.
Luis, where can they find you?
You guys can find me at Comics Guide 101 on Facebook, on Twitter, and all that good stuff. And,
oh, look at your doggy.
Yeah, I'll be outside in a few minutes, taking her out for a final walk before we go to bed.
Well, be glad you live where you live. It's snowing here.
Oh, dude, I hate the cold. I'm so done with this cold.
Oh, it was cold.
It was
snowing there?
It was a cold 62 degrees today.
Uh-oh.
Oh, brother. You can find me, Omnidog, on Omnidog's Vault on YouTube and on Instagram, Omnidogs_Vault. Thank you for tuning in. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Good night, everybody.